So here we are, it's Monday at SNG and George is working very hard on our robot and he's happy. Can you tell? His head's wobbling. He's like a bobblehead. So he's doing a modeler's hardest job, and that is sanding and filling and sanding and filling and sanding and filling and sanding and filling. Did I say that he was sanding and filling? Yes, I did. Did I, George? Yeah. Okay. So, and filling in, you know, mistakes that I made, that kind of stuff. And I'm over here, now that our screw is finished, working on this lovely Scott Alexander. And I don't know what the status is of Scott Alexander. I heard that he had some illness. So Scott, if you're watching my videos, please give me a call, because when I changed phones, I lost your contact info. And so I went online and tried to find it, and you're kind of hidden. Anyway, call me, tell me you're okay. I'm putting together your fabulous kit and having a lot of fun with it. This is the one that you made these parts solid, so I was scratching my head because the one I built for a client, this one's for me, was easier to light because I didn't have these solid pieces to deal with, but that's okay because I just drill some holes there and the hole that comes out there, and then that will go into the engines and come out here and we'll have our engine lights. So as you can see, I've done a base, temporary base. George wants to build a Death Star base for it, but what I'm doing is, of course, we got our main power coming out here. This is very, very solid, and I'm trying to bulk together the main body of the craft today, get it blocked out, and try to do a little bit more every day. Well, I've been at this for a while now, not too long, and got the basics together with George pointing out along the way where I was going wrong with certain things, like getting these to be correct. Because this one with the part going down the side here is supposed to be on this side, and this one here with the two little hatches is supposed to be on that side, and then they alternate down here to be truly studio scale. So but we got that figured out, didn't we, George? Sure. Yeah. So, and these are on with brass that runs through here, so they'll be very strong once they're glued down. And of course, all the lighting is in for the engines and stuff. And we'll be doing the interior as well on that. And on the robot, George has been at this all day, and he's all sewed up, so that we are actually ready to go ahead and preen this tomorrow. Great job, George. We'll be able to preen this tomorrow and start putting the rivets on, primer, and that kind of stuff. What I can't remember is there wood that comes down the backside? I don't think there is, but we'll find out tomorrow. So back at the Star Wars and the robot, and what I did for this, I thought it was real clever to do. I wanted to be able to have access. And for those of you who have built this model, and some of you asked what it was, it's a Captain Cardboard Atomic City? Yeah, Atomic City Scott Alexander model. But I wanted to make these removable. If I get George to come over here for a second and hold this, I won't try this with one hand. And I'll show you what I did. Removable so that I could get to the electronics should I ever have to. So let's see how I do here. Now you see how hard I'm struggling to get these out, and that's why. Magnets. That's all. And you'd think, well, these big heavy parts will never be held that well with magnets, but trust me, as you just saw, they do. I mean, it really snaps in there and holds it really, very, very strong. And I'm not even all the way in yet. Let me get this in. There we go. There. Now I can practically pick the whole model up with the weight of the base and everything, and it won't come out. And I have to struggle to get it apart. So these magnets works really well. So I've been busy replacing these little parts, which all broke off except for a couple, and these are what you can see. There's one of the originals there, and I just replaced those. I managed to get the wiring in so we could have some engine lights. I'll turn off some lights here, get a nice feel for how they light up. Isn't that cool? So, so that's all done, and of course you saw how the, I believe you saw how these magnetically come out, so I can get to the interior. This is temporarily placed in for now, but I'm going to hog this out, and we're going to get a bunch of lighting in that. That's the next thing I want to do is paint the interior and then add some fiber optics and stuff. And we're going to add the cannons and the other small parts tomorrow, and it should start looking like an X-Wing. And over here, George has been working away, and we're going to be adding these vents in here tomorrow on both sides. He's been working on some parts for that. And that's kind of where we're at, right, George? So, another good day, and we'll be back again tomorrow. So here we are. Every single last part is on it, except we are missing the head. This isn't glued in, don't worry. So I have to sculpt a head for this model. There are these down here. I haven't figured out where they go yet. And so I guess I'll have to watch more of Scott's video to find out. But everything else is on. This is a complete model now. Of course, I got to light up the cockpit, and I'm going to work on that a little bit tomorrow. I got some gapping to do and stuff, but keep in mind, this is a Star Wars model, so I can get away with murder. So, that's really good. That's the B-29 nacelle, because of course, as I've talked about in the past, my B-29 I've been flying since 2002. It's a miracle that any radio-controlled airplane has lasted that long, and I'm putting retractable landing gear in it. But in order to do that, I have to make the correct nacelles for the mains. So that will be turned into a form and be molded. Of course, here's our robot that George has been steadily working on for the last 3 days, and he's been doing things like capping all this off. He's got the vents in here now, and he's evening up things and putting styrene outside this to make it smoother on the rings, and then we're going to do some more gapping and filling tomorrow. And he's got these little parts here that he made, which go like so, which I overlooked. And with any luck, we'll get primer on it by Friday and rivets on it by Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then we'll be looking at making a mold towards the end of the week. So George and I have been playing Star Wars, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. Well, actually, George is working on the robot too, but he's been helping me with this, and you can see there's a nice green glow in there, which is much brighter on camera. I don't know why that always is, but you can see the cockpit, which is all lit up. Isn't that pretty? The fiber optics and things going on in there, and it even lights up R2, which we're going to light up R2. And then you can see the engines just kind of glowing through the little separation areas. The engines are looking really nice too. And we got a basic primer on it and some white, so it's starting to look the part, but there's a lot of sanding and a little bits of filling and stuff, and hand work and some hand airbrushing and stuff before we start doing the real markings and stuff. But it's looking good. Thanks, George, for your help on this. So yeah, it's this is my toy. I've always wanted one since I saw the movie. And I built them for all kinds of other people, but never for myself. So now I get one, and that's really cool. So what's happening with the robot?
We are sanding and filling. Sanding and filling.
Sanding and filling.
We have the,
I know that song. Yeah, we
and this down here,
oh yeah, we got that.
smoother.
Oh yeah, it's nice and linear and flat.
Those
Good.
vents there.
Good.
We're smoothing these.
We got the vents over here too. And of course we have these here. And now we're down to just, tomorrow we're going to have fun, you and I, kind of finalize all this stuff, and we need to add a piece down in here and fill that in, and yeah, but it just takes a long time. This was the hardest part to do, was the chest, the upper torso, and we should hopefully finish by next week. And I almost forgot to show you, right, Rosie? Of course. The ears. These are made for. These are pointed ears, made for Dr. Darren Doctorman, who is in Las Vegas right now enjoying the Star Trek convention that I never seem to attend. And so we've been making up ears for him for his fun project that he's doing or something. I can't remember. He told me, I forgot all about it. I don't know what it is. If I knew what it was, I'd have to kill you. But these are silicone ears, and they're in the mold still. I'm not going to open these up until Monday. I prefer to let them sit for a while because they're Baldies encapsulated, which simply means that they're encapsulated in Baldies, so that you can paint them, you can put makeup on them, and you can actually attach them to someone's ears, but because silicone doesn't stick to anything. You can see how well they graft to his ear. There will be absolutely no problem blending these in. And look at it from the back, how well it just sits right in there. Little rolled edge there. Isn't that beautiful? And I want to thank Paulina for sculpting these for me. We did all the lab work. She wanted to do the ears. I said, you got it. And she did a really fantastic job. And we'll have more of these next week. And at some point, I suppose we'll do a test on Darren and make him look like a Vulcan. And you know that's going to be fun. Well, I've been working on the office, edit bay, showroom / hangout where I do all the editing and working on the film at the same time. There's lots of models and stuff that keep piling up, so every once in a while I got to show you guys what's new in here. Well, there's this, and this is if I can get out of the glare, which I can't seem to. There, of course, is William Shatner. Now, this photograph is a print that was made back around 1978. 79, right in there, from an actual 2 1/4 negative that was taken by Ricky Schwartz from the studio. He kind of lifted it, and which is what Ricky was known for doing, and he had this made for me, and I've had it in storage forever, and I got it out today, and you can see the lace on his forehead. This thing is so sharp and clear. I decided, I should frame it after all this time and get it up here. So it sits proudly there. And of course, Eric Chu, when he visited the other day with Tony Hardy and a bunch of other really incredible, amazing people, brought this to me, and I actually got him to sign it for me. It wasn't easy. I had to do it at the cost of signing his poster. But it's beautiful, and it's right next to Richard Cave's lovely piece he did for me with Doug Drexler's help. That's my name on there, and original photographs with and I don't know, but this has been here for a while. But I thought it would be really cool to put this right next to this. So, and of course I've told you about this, and here maybe you can kind of get the feeling of how this is 3D. But this is from 2001. This is a lobby card. They only made a few of these, and this came from Japan, from a friend of mine there gave it to me many years ago, and it's an original from 1968. Shinji Makoto is the one who gave me this, and I just love it. They're very rare. Let's see. Of course, Matt Mercury, signed by my dear friend Bill Hughes. This is from Paul Butcher, which is amazing. He signed it too. Thank you. Number 17. And this, which I just found, forgot I had it. It's a widescreen edition of Star Trek Motion Picture, which I did Nimoy's ears for, and a few other things. And I actually got Robert Wise to sign this back many moons ago. And I thought that should be out here. And of course, everybody has one of these from Andy Probert. Andy kindly signed it to me some time ago. What was it? 12/20/12. So you all know the great captain here. Thanks to Doug for letting me have these molds to make one of these. This was given to me by Adam Leonard's son, Nimoy. And this is from his father's archives, and he gave this to me. It's actually signed by his dad, which is really cool. Besides the tunic he gave me that too, which I cherish this, because I never got Leonard's, I never got it, his autograph on anything. So over here, of course, is the day Erston Still special edition. They only made so many of them, Laserdisc, and I had Robert sign. They came signed and numbered, and then I had him sign it again. And it's got the movie in there. It's got the book about making his films, and it also has the soundtrack, DVD, CD. Remember those? So, so there's some interesting stuff up that I didn't have up before. Of course, my birthday card that all my wonderful friends who came to that birthday party of mine just after Jilly passed away, and all the signatures that are on there. Rick Sternbach, Doug Drexler, DC Fontana, who came to visit, and many other wonderful friends that I have who came that evening for that wonderful party. I'm going to put this somewhere. It's just been kind of stuffed away. So I don't think there's anything else. Of course, you know about my props, and I put the Lamont from Westworld right there. That's where it sits until I wear the costume anyway. Love that gun. It's the same one that Ed Harris has. And so now you've seen a little bit of some of the stuff that's in here. And as time goes by, I'll show other stuff. And of course, George and I have been, I did show him this. How many of you have one of these still? This is an original from I bought this when I was in high school. As did I buy this when I was in high school. Pretty amazing. First edition. Still in really good condition. Since we were talking about 2001 so much. And I'm going to clean the lens because I see that there's something on it. And do my Daffy Duck imitation. No, that didn't do it, so I'm going to clean it. There, all clean. So we got George Dare over here, and I dare you to show me, I bet you get tired of that, to show me what you've been up to.
Well, we've putting pieces on the side.
You could beat a man to death with this thing now. Yeah.
Shoring it up on the inside.
Yeah, we're getting everything all even and level to the table, because we're getting ready to button this master up.
And we have to put the rivets on afterwards.
Yeah, I'm always thought I need a sand, but that won't take long.
Get it all done. And then we'll make a mold.
Yeah, we sure will. Pretty darn neat. It's really structurally sound now. So, of course, the X-Wing, as far as we got this week, was to get the cockpit sort of built, all the nice lights and everything, and got it primered and some white paint on it, and that's about as far as I got. The next week I'm going to start doing all the fine details, and George drilled out the little, that's the red light, right, on him, or is that the white light that lights up?
That's the white light.
Yeah, got that drilled out, and you got it drilled out all the way through and out to there, so we can put a fiber optic in there, and that'll be lit up as well. And so this is coming along just beautifully. I'm so happy to have this. Everybody. But I probably shouldn't say that on the internet, so anyway. But I was just saying that, you know, basically everybody should have an X-Wing. I think that's a song, right? Everybody should have an X-Wing. That way you'll be real happy. Anyway, something silly like that. We are finishing off the week, and this is going to be it for us now. Here comes Mary. She's making sure that we're cleaning up so we can get out of here and have a fun-packed weekend of posting things on the internet, racing in a Grand Prix race, shooting people in World War I in World War I simulation on Battlefield 1, and various other things I haven't been able to do for a long time, and even run my slot car set. So we will be back next week. Right, George? We'll be back next week? Mary, we'll be back next week?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, and we love you a whole bunch, and we appreciate your support and watching the show, and have a fabulous weekend.